regarding this stumblebum asshole here in Georgia who thinks he's going to be a senator because Donald Trump called him up and said, "Hey, boy, remember you used to play football for me, boy, back when I owned you, New Jersey Generals? You remember? Hey, Herschel, boy." And old Herschel Walker, I'm sure, answered with a very strong affirmative, "Yes, sir, I do remember. Yes, sir, boss. I want you to be senator, boy." So Herschel Walker became the Republican nominee. And I've said this before. You know, I live here. I live in Georgia. I live in North Georgia. And granted, Atlanta is close by, and Atlanta is a very inviting, tolerant city. It really is. It has become that. I've been here for close to 50 years, and over the course of that time, I've seen such changes here. But we also have demonic types who still live here, people who have been regurgitated up of a hell portal someplace, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, this crazy bitch. And when we heard news that Herschel Walker was going to run for the United States Senate on the Republican ticket, and then after the primary, when 1 million people here in Georgia, or whatever the number was, voted for him, white people, white folk, black folk aren't going to vote for this fool. Because black folk understand what white people do. White people will take the worst example of someone they could possibly find if it's in the community that the white people are railing against, whether it's a community of color, gay community, a Latino community, wherever it is. They'll take the worst person they can come up with, white folk will, and say, "See, that's what they're all alike." So black folk understand here in Georgia that dirty trick by white people. They know. Black folk know. So who voted for Herschel Walker? You know damn good and well who voted for Herschel Walker. White people in the state of Georgia who wouldn't say hi to Herschel Walker if he was begging for a hello from somebody. White folk would just look at him and say, "Ah, damn," and move away from him. But you know, the white people here in Georgia have got to own the libs. Not all white people, you know what I'm saying. Come on. But the ones who vote for these Christian demon candidates, which is exactly what Herschel Walker is. He started to mouth his pieties about, "I'm forgiven. I have been redeemed." Oh, fuck you, Herschel Walker. You have not been redeemed of anything. You're guilty as hell. Nobody's going to redeem you. There is no redemption except that which you give yourself. Come on. I'm a Christian. Of course you are. That's why you threaten people and beat people and slap people and force people to get abortions even when they don't want to, and then mouth your fucking hypocritical pieties about, "I'll never allow abortion for any woman no matter what, even if her life is involved. But if my reputation's involved, then go get it, bitch." We understand you, Herschel. But that's where all those votes came from. Nasty-ass, hypocritical white people. Well, guess what? A woman who alleges, second woman, that she had a 6-year extramarital relationship with Herschel Bulldog Walker and said that he impregnated her and drove her to obtain an abortion. She held a second news conference yesterday to present evidence. The woman appeared alongside Gloria Allred, who usually handles these cases, and again identified herself simply as Jane Doe. She read handwritten letters that she got from Herschel Walker. She played a telephone message and a conversation from the 1990s that she said were with Herschel Walker, and showed a photograph of the two together in 2019 at a conference in North Carolina. Now, if you remember, just like this filthy, rotten son of a bitch Donald Trump, Herschel Walker, after the woman initially came forward in October, the Walker said, I don't know her. I have no idea, never seen her, never heard of her. What? And he added, in a November 1st statement posted to his website, Herschel the Fool Walker said this, quote, 7 days before an election, the Democrats trot out Gloria Allred and some woman I do not know, end quote. But see, Herschel is a Christian. And he's been redeemed, and he's been washed in the blood of the Lamb, and he's been reborn. So he can lie like a motherfucker, and it doesn't matter. Because the Lord and Savior, baby Jesus, has rescued him from the depths of iniquities and blah, blah, bullshit. So when he said on November 1st, I don't know this person, who said that about Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, huh? Before the cock crows twice, you will have denied me. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. So the woman said Tuesday in her public statement, she said, quote, Herschel, I never thought you would deny knowing me or our relationship. Are you really willing to do anything, including lying to the voters in Georgia to become a senator? Do you have the guts to meet with me in person, in public, look me in the eye and tell me to my face that you do not know me and that none of what I just said is true? I am looking forward to your response, end quote. Well, Miss Jane Doe, if you're looking forward to this lying fucker's response, I think you're going to be waiting a long time. Herschel Walker is a lying son of a bitch. He's a coward. He's a punk. He's a pimp. He's a bastard, which means all of that. He's a Christian. He don't give a shit about you. He's been washed in the blood of the Lamb. Oh, God. Woo. Now, I did my early voting today. Oh, it was so good to once again mark Raphael Warnock, senator from Georgia. Now, in the election campaign, before this was forced into a runoff by the white hypocrites, Herschel ran as an anti-abortion candidate. And he says that the claims of these two different women that he paid he paid for their abortions, which he did. There's no fucking doubt about this. But he said it was all politically motivated. I don't even know her. Yeah. That's what made her decide to come forward with her allegations and to present this evidence that she has, including the voice message in which you can hear Herschel Walker address the woman as, quote, you big sex puppy. Sex puppy? You big sex puppy? Miss Jane Doe got emotional at that part. This is what she said at this briefing the other day. She said, quote, I intended to take this to my grave. But after the first woman came forward in early October, and she alleged that Herschel had paid for an abortion, and I heard his response on Fox News, and he said exactly, quote, I never asked anyone to get an abortion. I never paid for an abortion. That is a quote, and I knew that he was lying based on my own experience. I knew he was lying, and I needed to come forward, end quote. She was... This Jane Doe was pressed on her motivation for taking her story public. Oh, yeah, we have to know the motivation, lady. Are you trying to destroy this young man's career? What's your motivation there? She said she was not driven by politics. She said, quote, voters can make their own decision. All I can do is tell the truth. Now, I'm telling the truth, and Herschel Walker knows that I am telling the truth. End quote. Well, of course he does. But just like Donald Trump, the truth is a bullshit concept. The truth is whatever stumbles or flies like some kind of a bat out of Trump's mouth, Giuliani's mouth, Herschel's mouth. It doesn't make any difference. That's what they consider truth. These fuckers don't know truth if it bit them on the scrotum. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. You know, the Progressive Voices Network brings you commercial-free commentary from today's leading progressive radio hosts and pundits, like me, Mike Malloy, 24 hours a day. I'm not your typical old guy from the 80s or the 90s talk radio host, and Progressive Voices is not your typical talk radio network. It's a listener-supported nonprofit with no corporate control whatsoever over our broadcast. So hosts like me, Mike Malloy, are free to rant and scream and carry on about whatever we like. We're often controversial, but we're never boring. Weeknights, 9 p.m. in the East, 6 p.m. in the West on the Progressive Voices Network. Always progressive, always on. I'm Mike Malloy. Keep it lit.